Now is the season of our discount tent, I guess. Anyway, testing tent in the rain. Make sure that it doesn't leak before summer gets here. I'm working around the yard. This 4-foot's about to become 8 foot of fence. The soil's been real bad here, so I had this all rototilled, and I've been shoveling the rototilled soil on top of pine needles to make a wall between the fence line and the running track. Get some more poles here to kind of help raise the fence up, and you can see kind of the lawns are starting to come along a little bit. Anyway, what I've been working on lately is the drainage. This is the front gate becomes like a yearly quagmire, and I'm trying to turn that into more of a seasonal pond that's somewhere I don't have to drive. So anyway, here's what the soil looks like underneath about an inch of something that might support grass. After that, it's just this kind of combination of rock and gravel. So I've been maximizing that to fix the driveway. This is all gravel on top of carpet. So what happens is when it rains, all the mud and dirt and dust and whatnot flows downhill towards the gate. And what I do is I usually rake the gravel back uphill as the rain washes all the mud downhill to this point. And so over here I have dug a big giant pit. In fact, that's what created most of the gravel that went on the driveway. And I'm working on this one lately. Eventually I'm going to regrade the road so it's more of a dome or arch to it, so it flows off to both sides. And then in here will be gravel with carpet again, but it'll be the drain rock. And then I'm going to be cutting a hole across the driveway at some point when it's convenient, so that I can run a pipe underneath it and have it come over here. And this I'm digging out slowly, so that when the water comes across the driveway like that, it goes into this ditch. And this will be mostly, this whole ditch area will get lowered to it's like a all one flat walkway towards the driveway. And I'm probably going to fill it with pine needles so it can catch some of the silt before it makes it down here to another short section of what's going to be buried pipe, so I can continue to have a trail here. And then hopefully by the time it gets here there'll be less mud in it, and I won't have to do this, which is basically make little dams so I can get the mud. And I'm using that mud right now to seal the bank so that the banks are more stable before I do anything permanent with it. But it's hard to stack it the way I want it because the loose gravel keeps falling in, but the mud stabilizes it. Yeah, it's a whole effort there. Anyway, over here, you can see I got one side of the driveway close to what I want. There'll be the rock wall with the flower beds and whatnot in front of the fence that comes into the gate, which is inset onto the property, right? So when they start and stop, they'll be starting and stopping on my packed gravel rather than the shared muddy mess leading to and from it. So it'll be here. This side will do the same thing. It'll mimic it, but I still have to stretch some fence and put some more posts in. I'm waiting for the overnight temperatures to be above freezing. So anyway, so I'm going to go around here, and as you can see, everything from this driveway all the way up along to this branch pretty much all comes downhill into this, and this produces a decent amount of water. What was happening is here, right in front of this gate, the low spot before I started working on this, is yearly we would lose some vehicle all the way up to its axles high centered in the mud. So I'm hoping to make that go away and turn that maybe into some water over here that I can use to irrigate the mounds made from pine needles and the dirt I've been excavating. So, which seems to be rotting into something fairly fertile. I think I could grow something in it. Then of course I use a lot of the rubble and stuff that I rake out for flower beds. I just got through planting some irises over here. So it kind of like makes, I'm trying to make multiple small rooms, like this would be the entrance to that room, and then along the driveway I'll probably end up building that up even more and planting hedges. It'll be completely surrounded by berms, then I keep stacking up, and when I get them high enough or when I'm satisfied, I'll start planting trees and shrubberies and whatnot. Same thing over here. So as you come in, you have on the perimeter trail, yeah, see, there's the gate and the driveway, but you can come down through here, and as you can see, the dirt's looking a lot better. What's happening is the pine needles, when they're on top of the ground like that, just dry out and turn to powder, so nothing fertile. But when I put them down, stack them up and pile dirt on them, it holds enough water for them to actually compost. It holds enough moisture anyway so that they stay wet long enough through the year after the spring where something can happen to them. But you can see the weeds growing out of them already, which tells you that at least weeds can grow in it. So, and I'm stripping all this out of anything that can support grass, so that it's a fire break. So I'll just keep on removing dirt from this side to add to the pine needles that come from that side as it continues to go up, and until I reach something below here that won't grow a blade of grass, because in about 3 months everything here will be brown and dry. So yeah, I'll probably only have to mow about once or twice a year unless I irrigate, because I'm not irrigating. So there we go. If I do, it might be a drip irrigation across the top of the berms, just so that during the driest part of the season I can give it a little bit of moisture and make it so that it'll continue to compost each year's pine needles and lawn sweepings and whatnot. So there you go, there's the first room, and then this will be another one where you can go in and there'll be a, let's see, it's kind of like a berm here, like that. And I've just started raking this one out, but you'll go in there, it'll be another room with walls of dirt. Anyway, so that's what's happening here. I shovel and rake a lot when I drop from exhaustion. I do Tai Chi and Qigong and such, and try to straighten out the back problems. And yeah, you see all the little rock paths and stuff. That's all stuff out of my quarry. So essentially all the material is free, and just back-breaking labor, and occasionally heavy machinery.